welcome back to Block TV, where it's time for Pump or Dump. That's when we examine all the dominant news narratives of the week and see if we agree or disagree, meaning do we pump them, do we dump them, what do we do with them? And to do that, I am joined by none other than Block TV's crack team of reporters, starting with none other than the boy that is the joy, Zachy Hennessy. There he is. Tech maven Ron Spitzer. And of course, we can't do this without Usher Westbrook Evans, Block TV's senior correspondent, the man with two last names. Now, as always, 2 rounds of topics, limited time to state your case. I decide who wins, and the winner gets nothing. Let's start with round 1. And Usher is the first victim. Usher, your round 1 goes with alt season versus DeFi exploit. Your minute begins now.
All right, Yael. So this has been a fascinating week in the world of, I guess, everything not Bitcoin. Let's put it out there. So everyone was talking about the alt season. Is it coming? Is it here? As we saw Bitcoin crash down a little bit last week, it seems maybe it's not necessarily the case yet. Regardless, I'm dumping that narrative because we need to wait and see. What I'm pumping instead is the BZX DeFi exploit that occurred during this week. Now, for those who aren't familiar, I'll get you up to date. About $950,000 was exploited from BZX, this DeFi product that was designed to be, part of a smart contract system. It was supposed to be unexploitable. It's supposed to be self-fulfilling, decentralized, and the whole system was effectively stolen from in an arbitrage, slippage, opportunity, or exploit hack, however people want to characterize it. They took this money out, and what this meant was that the whole system lost integrity, and they ended up closing down. The developers ended up closing and halting the access of this supposedly decentralized finance smart contract in a very centralized manner.
First of all, how depressing for the sphere.
Yeah.
Folks, what do we think?
That this is the issue with developing things really quickly and not thinking them through, which is an issue we see kind of repeatedly in the space, unfortunately. And then things go wrong, and everybody's like, how do we fix it? So people get, they fund really quickly, they develop something basic really fast, and then things go wrong, and everybody's surprised still.
And that's the thing. I mean, DeFi just recently hit this milestone at the start of 2020, $1 billion locked up in DeFi contracts. The industry is on an amazing upswing. 2020 is the year of DeFi, and 2 months in, we're already seeing moves like this.
But the really scary thing is about things like this is money in this ecosystem as a whole kind of exiting and entering really quickly, which I think also really frightens people and investors as a whole.
When money is lost so quickly, then yes, definitely, it doesn't bode well for the entire sphere. But I want to know what Zachy thinks.
Yeah, so I have a question, which is mostly like, in terms of bounce back, like what are the potential options for recovery in terms of DeFi and salvaging?
Didn't you say that they shut down?
Yeah, so it was halted. Yeah. They halted trading in this specific project.
Even worse.
But I mean, Zachy's right in the point that the extended point, like the whole DeFi world as a whole.
If the point is, let's make 2020 the year of DeFi, is there a way to proceed?
It's very hard. I mean, perceptually, reputationally, DeFi is thoroughly damaged because it's proving, hey, you know how we're decentralized finance? No, it really is decentralized as we made it out to be. You know how we're better and more secure than any previous financial software? And,
not the
not
case.
actually really
We're not
the case.
even finance.
Yeah. So, well, maybe they get that. I don't know. But, it really takes a big hit. I'm not going to say that this is the catalyst that brings down the whole DeFi sector, but it's certainly, I think, as Iran said, a time for reflection.
It's also what gives us the difference between project and, utility and any sort of thing and gambling.
Yeah.
Yes.
This space is trying not to be.
Yeah, that would be the difference between that. Entirely so. Too bad for them. Usher, you know what? We'll go straight forward today, and Zachy wins this. Ka-ching. Moving along with Zachy. Bitcoin friends versus crypto on The Simpsons, which I'm dying to see. Your minute begins now.
Okay, so you know what you haven't heard about in a while? Bitcoin and Friends. It's the cartoon that has the Bitcoin and the friends, and it's off color and quote unquote funny. And people in the sphere, they love to watch it. Nobody's been talking about it.
Okay.
Nobody's been talking about it, but fuck them anyway. We're not going to talk about Bitcoin and Friends because I don't think it deserves your attention. Instead, what we're going to talk about is cryptocurrency appearing on The Simpsons, which is a big deal because The Simpsons has long been lauded as this kind of prophetic program that shows kind of the future and what it could be. And so recently in episode 13, season 31, Jim Parsons makes a cameo appearance and explains the ins and outs of cryptocurrency, and we're going to throw that to a second. But this is a big deal because while the show should have been canceled 100 years ago, it's still an indication of the mainstream consciousness, and so we can talk about what direction this is going to take. Let's throw to the clip.
For cryptocurrency to work, we need a record of every transaction that occurs. These are recorded in what's called a distributed ledger.
I'm a consensus of shared and synchronized digital data spread across multiple platforms from Shanghai to Grenada. Each day I'm closer to being cash of the future, not in your wallet, I'm in your computer. Oh yeah!
When you use the currency, the transaction is recorded in the ledger.
Jackie, trash The Simpsons however much
Yeah,
you want,
fuck
but
it. It's not funny.
oh, come
I didn't
on!
laugh when I saw it. It's a cartoon that's a comedy, and I didn't laugh.
Guys, this is
But
the same
anyways,
thing.
it's a big deal.
Okay,
This
it's a
is
big
the
deal.
same
It's a big
thing.
deal.
This is just like, this is the every time Colbert mentions it, every time this, there is a person, there is a writer who is invested.
Yeah.
They were like, if we do a little Bitcoin scene, I
But
have
those
enough money
people
for
work
that.
for mainstream media. And
Why are you expecting them to have money if they work for mainstream media? They had enough to invest. They're invested. They need,
I
they
don't
need a
expect them to have
vacation.
money. I expect them to plug that narrative. More people.
It's
More
it's
people.
Are you
irrelevant what
sug-
you want. It's the specific time they need the cash.
Are
out.
you
That's how it
suggesting? Are
works.
you suggesting some grand conspiracy? The writers of the Simpsons are
Grand
doing a pump or dump.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
Grand conspiracy.
Now
Some
let me
lonely
remind
guy.
you, it's all on
fellow-
Fox.
You can
Yeah, some one guy in the writers' room was like, guys, I'm telling you, I will buy you all drinks.
You can tell that they
There you
were
go.
all like, okay, dude, we'll put it in, because the quality of the jokes in that scene are just non-existent.
Because what fucking jokes can you make?
Right.
Like, I don't care if you're the
I've been making
Simpsons.
jokes about cryptocurrency for fucking 8 months.
I
It's
also-
possible.
I
You
also-
make crypto jokes. They're making
Yeah.
mainstream jokes.
Yeah, we did. You got to
In
be
crypto
funny
form.
too. The jury's still out on that one.
Yeah, it's still
But I think the
Ooh.
real crime in all this is the pain that it caused my ears when you said The Simpsons episode 13, season 31.
31 seasons
Just
of this
die.
thing.
Just die.
They
I
oughta-
loved it, and they killed it.
If
They
they're
oughta give
making
it
money,
a
nobody's
graceful
dying.
farewell.
Ah, okay. You know what? I'll give you all this. You're fine. You're right. You're all winning this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Moving along though,
We'd love
with
to all
Iran,
win this.
the Maven, and it's Buffett dinner
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Wikipedia
Excuse me,
losses
lunch.
on Bitcoin.
Yeah, because
Then well
Buffett-
done. Your
oh,
minute
sorry.
begins now.
Sure. So Buffett, whatever meal, because that's
Yeah,
it.
you
Look,
don't
that's
know
the
it. It's
extent
done.
of that news.
night
We
dinner.
said it.
It's
and
done.
it's-
It was
and
dinner.
it's over.
Yeah.
But did you know that Wikipedia apparently is losing money on because they offer Bitcoin as a means of payment, which apparently people aren't liking. So the co-founder of Wikipedia at CoinGeek was speaking actually to Craig Wright, and he
Sounds
was
like a limerick.
saying, and he was
Okay.
saying that there's no consumer mechanisms to pay in Bitcoin. And so what ends up happening is that, because they put it up in 2014, this isn't new, but basically they put it on the website, and what ends up happening is that people go in and like, oh, you can pay in Bitcoin? That's so cool. What's Bitcoin? And then they look it up, and then basically they don't donate to the website. So they were like, we don't have an ideological reason for having it on the site. We don't mind taking it off. If it works, it makes us money, we're down for it. But they're losing money because they have Bitcoin there. So what is it? Do we need more education so that people don't get distracted? Do we need an easy button that says pay with my Bitcoin?
You need
What's the solution?
Wait! Personally, I think that's the answer to that. I think that what Bitcoin is missing thus far, not just there, is that easy freaking button.
Like
okay?
connect to Facebook, connect to my
It's
Bitcoin.
that one-stop thing that you don't explain to me what it is. I can
Right.
just use it. But what do you esteemed colleagues think?
Yeah, I mean, I reckon that just like you said,
Like they need to have a more streamlined method of making it happen, because if they're explaining it in such a way that it's so distracting that it sends them to other websites, then they're clearly...
No, they're going down the rabbit hole, like the YouTube rabbit
Right.
hole of looking at things. You're going down and then you just end up not donating because you were so distracted by
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
But you know what? Like, I mean, Wikipedia always has. I mean, credit to them. I know they're in dire need of more money, and they always have that ad that pops up. If every one of our users donated
$1.
whatever $1,
It's been going on for
exactly,
years, exactly.
we'd be able to run this thing forever. Da, da, da.
Support your local Wikipedia.
But yeah, no, I'm very pro Wikipedia, whatever. But like potential lost donations because people got distracted. I mean, that's what Wikipedia is. You go there when you're distracted. I don't believe that's. Maybe those people were never going to donate
Oh, you're
originally.
saying
Maybe they
it's
clicked the
not.
button.
You're saying since 2014 it declined and it has nothing to do with
it's
people
like
being
saying,
distracted by Bitcoin.
Well, I think it's like saying that when you pirate a movie, the company is losing out on revenue. When one pirates, I don't pirate.
Sure.
The company loses on revenue, maybe, but I wouldn't necessarily have bought the movie
Because
without the pirating. I'm getting it
Right.
for free. That doesn't mean I would have bought it. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
but it's
not.
different than donations, right? Because people don't really want to donate to begin with, but they're like, I'm an asshole. I use Wikipedia all the time. Here's my $1 once every 10 years of me using
you'll be
this.
surprised. Some people
And
do
then
want to donate,
destruction.
but yeah.
Who?
I have never donated to Wikipedia.
Yael donates
You don't have a
to Wikipedia.
charitable look.
Yeah,
Jackie.
yeah.
It's-
I'm a very charitable young man.
No, I mean, I'll give you this, and before we move on, you're still a charity case yourself. But, okay, we are moving to round 2. After whatever, we'll decide afterwards who wins round 1. And round 2 begins with Asher. I have to read just these words, please. Telegram narratives.
Yeah, keeping things simple for this one. All right, so we had the Telegram court case last week there in the Southern District of New York, and the narratives that come out of that. So the Judge Castell there in the ruling sort of came out and said, we are delaying this decision till later. It'll be decided on before April 30. And so what they did is left a big space for a lot of analysts out there and thinkers to come out and suggest and imply a whole lot of what that means. So we had in the immediate wake an interesting article come out on Decrypt, which said, and I'll quote a small part, where they said the fact that Judge Castell had granted an emergency restraining order signals that he believes the SEC position has merit and is likely to succeed. So they're saying that the SEC has a strong case, and the judge's statements prove that. CoinDesk, on the other hand, came out and said the SEC shouldn't get hung up on labels, is what they're focusing on based on what Judge Castell said. That's the narrative, that actually the Telegram has a really strong case. And then there are other narratives saying that we saw in Cryptonomics today when Yael and I spoke, talking about the fact that there are a whole lot of different positions that could be potentially coming out of this with massive ramifications across the entire legal space.
Sounds like Fox News and MSNBC. Who do we
Right.
believe?
Who do we believe? It's in a lack with a dearth of true knowledge and truth. It'll just like
The
stop
person
generating
without the
things.
point of view, Yael. That's how you believe.
There's no such thing. Human beings have a point of view. Yeah.
So
Zachy.
what do you reckon is what has the strongest kernel?
Right. Well, as the epitome of an unbiased, unfiltered,
truly.
true source with no objective filter, I don't know. No,
BLOCKTV?
honestly, I don't think there is a single point to take out of this. It just is a fascinating study of the way media narratives proliferate. That with a lack
either
of information.
or, and it leads to advice. Maybe journalists or people should have these. And the fact is, when it comes to information, do your own research.
Right.
Because we don't know. I mean,
Very apt
everybody
in the
has an
crypto
agenda.
space, yeah.
I can break down what you just said with what is the Crypt's agenda, what is CoinDesk's agenda. We're not going to get into that, but yes, entirely so. The thing is, how do we know? You do your own research, and then you ask Zachy.
You reckon
That's how
Telegram?
it works.
You reckon Telegram's
100%.
gonna be the WhatsApp killer?
It's what they want to be.
Because they got this thing.
They
I
really
don't know if
wanna
you looked
be.
at it, but I got a friend who just recently went off the grid. That'll work. And he switched to Telegram instead of
You get a
WhatsApp. So he's like,
notification.
"Hey, everybody, come to Telegram." They're not. And it's in the background. I don't know. It's a little things, but in the background of this Telegram chat, you got the same kind of little random tchotchkes in the background on the thing. I think they're gunning for it. That's the narrative. They're gunning for WhatsApp.
First of all, you're totally right. That's his agenda.
Hell yeah, they're
You're totally
coming
right.
for WhatsApp.
Yeah. But that said, never mind Zachy's opinion. We're going to go to Zachy's second round. The hunt for the 7.5K Bitcoin box. Also, just these words. Your minute begins now.
A clerical error. Initially, I wrote this as 7.5, but it is really 6K. So we're talking about the $6,000 box. I'll explain. Irish drug dealer Clifton Collins, great name, stored a piece of paper with keys for about 6,000 Bitcoin in a fishing rod box. He was then shortly thereafter busted for having a lot of marijuana, and in Ireland they don't take kindly to that. So this box is now lost to presumably it's in a dump somewhere in Ireland. So what I recommend we all do is a little kind of like a community kind of event is we ship out to Ireland and we take out our shovels, we take out our snorkels, and we just get
And we all
digging.
dress like leprechauns.
Because here's the thing.
Okay.
Recycling, incineration, you don't have that long before this thing gets burnt up to shreds. But, if you can get in before that, you're talking about what's 600,000 something if it's at 10K, math, something. Anyway, it's a lot of money. We should
Wait a
get
second.
out there.
Where is weed smoking dude right now?
Oh, he's in jail.
That's what we care about. That's the true information we needed.
No. Because
where's
I mean,
the
if
hunt?
we're going on this hunt, Zachy,
Yeah.
I want to know that he's in jail long enough for when we
Right.
when we come out with the box. Okay.
And I can't help but say, I mean,
logical.
These stories, they're great, but they're part of like the seminal mythos of Bitcoin. There's always the USB that holds this many, millions of dollars.
I read
in
there's
Bitcoin.
150,000 Bitcoin that are just
Yeah,
gone.
and they're lost, they're
forever.
around, they're in a drawer, someone passes away, someone whatever's.
Exactly.
And I admit $60 million worth of Bitcoin is pretty appealing to go hunting for.
Yeah.
But like, and the idea is beautiful. I hope for the day when someone does
It's
find
a real
this.
Goonies Stand By
Right.
Me situation
Right.
of like, yo, let's get a bunch of fucking things.
wanna
and
see a
go
dead
out
body,
into
you
the
know,
thing and
that's
find
No,
the
I
thing.
mean, there needs to be a Goonies sequel with Zachy
With
starring.
Bitcoin.
He's
Yeah,
starring-
there
I'll
needs to
be
be a
playing the
Goonies.
role of Corey Feldman's son.
Okay.
And that'll be kind of
Ron
my
and I would
role.
be what? Who would we be?
Shucks.
Yeah.
It's like
there
you're
you go.
putting me on the spot here.
What's your Goonies knowledge, Zach?
I have plenty of Goonies knowledge. I was just quoting the movie to my wife yesterday, word for word.
There
So
you go.
we're not going into it, but I have to build a new canon layer underneath the
Well,
Goonies.
get on
It's
it and
different.
launch your
I'll
treasure
get back
hunting
to you.
squad.
Entirely.
Tune into blocktv.com for
Okay.
the-
Okay. Before we
buzzed.
move on to movie quotations, you
With the
can't
plug-in,
handle the
you were
truth. Just
buzzed.
kidding. We're moving to Iran.
Yeah.
Yes, last round. Bitcoin price versus, oh God, this is going to be good. Betting on Trump.
Yeah.
Your minute begins
I mean-
now.
It's a little misleading. It's
I
not
know,
exactly
I know,
done
I
on
know,
Trump.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, Bitcoin price. We always talk about it. I don't want to. But meanwhile,
But we keep on doing it, and we will. Go ahead.
so, meanwhile, Augur, that whole website where you used to bet on people with Bitcoin and Ethereum, some good old. Now we don't need that anymore because an exchange called FTX has coins for candidates. We're not talking just Trump. We're talking the Democratic candidates as well. So a Trump coin is currently selling for just under 63 cents on this platform on election day. Get this: if Trump is reelected, the coin will be worth $1. If he's not, then it drops to $0 and everybody just loses their money. That's literally the idea behind this coin. And then FTX also offers for all major Democratic candidates.
Right.
So Bernie
coin
Sanders,
whose coin is up?
So he currently has 21 cents. His
Okay.
coin is worth. Bloomberg is just under 10 cents.
Oh,
But wait, he didn't even debate yet, really. That's all I got. But that's go bet
Or vote.
Around promoting
or vote or
promoting
vote.
gambling the world over.
But if you're gonna vote, you better bet because you know.
You might as well hedge, you know.
I think it's kind of the
You
same
could vote
thing.
for one candidate, hedge against on the other, so
other.
there's a
Right,
win-win either way.
You can make some money here, but I think this is hysterical.
No. That's we actually we've seen that entirely. Okay, let's conclude this then. Who you're betting on?
Who am I betting on?
I'm talking
Shucks.
politically specifically.
I
Bet on the
reckon-
coins.
No, if you want to make money,
I don't know if I registered to vote. I should.
that's terrible.
And I will.
Yes.
I haven't yet. But I reckon I'll put my some monies on Sanders. That's the thing. I ain't got money to throw
guys,
around, okay?
you
So
go
I'm
with the
probably
winner.
putting
Let's be
$5
real.
down on everybody, and then
No.
I end up with less than I started
Smart, but that's probably what a bunch of people did. But likely Trump is gonna win, so I want to make money, and so I would put it on Trump because I want to.
Usher and I will just nod like this.
I'm an Australian. I got no
no-
dog in this race, man.
with. No skin in the game.
I'm going back to Australia.
Why? You can decide who do you think is going to be elected,
I
and
can.
just
I
based
got other
on
things
that,
to. I got
make
other
your
things
cash.
to gamble on. We got a lot of horse racing in Australia. I'll go gamble on
Exactly.
the horses.
Exactly.
Okay, all I'm
That
saying
maybe
is, guys,
aren't
if you wanna
so
make the money.
aren't so faithful and detrimental. Lady and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for being here today. Goonies 2.
Yeah, Goonies
it's
2
on its
coming
way. There we
soon.
go. Goonies 2 starring Zachy Hennessy, and we were Pumper Dump on Block TV.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.